Hello everyone, this is Al Red Sox Fan coming to you from Al Red Sox Fan YouTube channel. Hope all is well, and we're going to bring you some Pine Tar Baseball 1924 World Series Game 1 between the National League champions New York Giants, who were 93 and 60, taking on the American League champions Washington Senators, who were 92 and 62, and that was the only World Series that Washington would win until last year when the 2019 Washington Nationals, now in the National League, defeated the Houston Astros. So let's get to the starting lineups and roll some Pine Tar Baseball. Really enjoying this game. For the New York Giants in Game 1, the starting pitcher will be Art Nehf. He was 14-4 with a 3.62. He'll be opposed by Walter Johnson, the big train, from the Senators, who was 23-7 with a 2.72 earned run average. We've made a modification to the pitch rules. In reality, both pitchers in Game 1 went 12 innings, so that will be their max innings, 12 innings. They can go 12 innings. In reality, the Giants would beat the Senators in 12 innings, 4-3. So that's how we came up with that modification to the pitcher's rule on point of weakness. Due up for the New York Giants to lead things off, Lindstrom will be at third. He is a neutral fielder, followed by the second baseman Frisch, a positive fielder. Young is in right field. Well, he's a negative fielder. Kelly's in center, which is really odd because he's not really a center fielder, but that's where he was playing in Game 1. And why is Kelly... Let me just take a quick look for a moment. Kelly, I think he'll be a neutral fielder. I'm going to make him a neutral fielder in center. Because if they put someone out there to play center field, he should be a neutral fielder. Let's make him a neutral fielder. He's a positive fielder at second or third, but we'll make him a neutral fielder in center. They must have had some faith in him, so we'll make him a neutral fielder. All right. And batting fifth, the first baseman Terry. He's a positive fielder. Sixth, the left fielder Wilson. Again, not much range there. He's a negative. Jackson bats seventh. He's the shortstop. He's a negative. Batting eighth, doing the catching, is Gowdy, a neutral fielder with a -2 arm. Batting ninth, doing the pitching, Art Nehf, who fields his position range-wise quite well. He's a positive. For the Washington Senators, McNeely will be in center to lead things off, a negative rating. Harris is batting second, playing second, neutral rating. Rice is in right field, batting third, neutral rating. Goslin is in left field, batting fourth, positive rating. Judge is at first, negative rating, and he's batting fifth. Batting sixth is Bluge, playing third base, a neutral fielder. Batting seventh, playing shortstop, Peckinpah, neutral fielder. Batting eighth, the catcher Rule. He's a positive fielder. And batting ninth, Walter Johnson. He is a negative fielder at his position. That being said, let's start the game. Alrighty, so here comes Lindstrom to the plate. Lindstrom is a right-handed batter. Johnson's a right-handed thrower. Johnson, the windup and the pitch to Freddie Lindstrom. And that's going to be a 51. 51 on the Lindstrom card will be an out, as that's a ground ball to short, so Lindstrom is retired 6-3 on the nice play by Peckinpah. One out for Frankie Frisch here in the top of the first. Frankie Frisch will be batting lefty. He's a switch hitter. Johnson picks up the sign from Rule. The pitch to Frankie Frisch. 63. Ground ball to short, rinse and repeat. As Peckinpah fires to first, 2 up, 2 down. They're playing Pepper with Peckinpah. Here comes a third place hitter, Ross Youngs. Let's see if he can stop the 1-2-3 inning here. Johnson looking for his first strikeout. He rocks and deals to Youngs. 95, and that will be a fly out to left, and the inning is over. Making the catch is Goslin. Go to the bottom of the first. No score. Due up for the Senators, McNeely, Harris, and Rice. Very interesting World Series. I just looked up all the games on Baseball Reference, and just wild World Series. Went 7, so we'll see if we do all 7 games. But Game 1 was very interesting, so I decided to play Game 1. Here comes Earl McNeely, center fielder. He'll face Art Nehf. Nehf throws lefty. McNeely's a right-handed batter. Here's the pitch from Nehf to McNeely. That's a 23. What will it be? We shall see. 23 is a single. And that will be a single to center field, so return to sender. So McNeely singles to start things off for the Senators. Johnson at home is an A-plus pitcher all the way through the game. Nehf away is a B pitcher all the way through the game. So McNeely's at first. He's not going to steal. He's a D-rated stealer. And I'll bring up Bucky Harris. Harris is a righty facing the lefty Art Nehf. Gowdy sets a target to pitch to Bucky Harris. Ooh, cards go askew. And that's going to be a 99. And a 99 goes to a rare play. So we're going to roll the red and white die. 99. 67. And a 67. Infield hit. Infield hit. So a number in front of the plate. Bucky Harris beats it out. And McNeely advances to second. Did I mess that up? 99. No, that's not right. That is not right. That is not a rare play. I had that stuck in my head from the boxing game. All right. So 99. Wild pitch. No balk. Wild pitch 0 through 30. So let's re-roll that. My faux pas. 44. No wild pitch. All right. So McNeely's still at first. My faux pas. McNeely is still at first. Harris digs back in the batter's box. Hello, Sportsman Z. I had the boxing game in my head, and a 99 is a rare play. So here's the pitch once again to Bucky Harris. 56. And a 56 is a ground ball to second. And it's a 6. Let's see, we have a double play. So ground ball to second, a 6. Excuse me. No double play. This one always messes me up with this chart. It's pretty basic too, and I always have to sit here and look at it. So it's a 6, so it's a 5 through 8. Fielder's choice. Runner at third advances. So they're going to get the force out at second. No one's at third. So Harris does not bang into the double play. He reaches. McNeely's out at first. Fielder's choice. 4 to 6. 1 out. And Harris is now at first. Sportsman Z, absolutely wonderful channel. If you have not subscribed to it, please do so. Lots of card and dice. A little Strat PC. He does card and dice baseball, card and dice football for Strat. He gives his XFL predictions. I believe he's 8-1 so far in the XFL. Gives his baseball prognostications with his beloved Chicago White Sox. So a really fun channel, Sportsman Z and Bob Z, who's one in the same. All right, here comes Sam Rice. Let's not mix up the boxing dice rules with our pine tar. The pitch from Nehf to Rice, looking for the double play ball to end the inning. That's going to be a 90. 90, lefty matchup. 90 will be a fly ball out to center. Retreating back to first is Harris, so there's 2 down. And now I'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Goose Goslin. U.S. Patriot is in the chat. How you doing, my friend? Thank you. He likes to listen to my call. I enjoy doing these. And I was homesick from work today, watched some videos, rested. And now because I took a nap, I need to do something, because if I go back to sleep, I'll wake up at 12 and be wired. All right. Harris will be off on contact at first. Another lefty-lefty matchup here. Art Nehf picks up the sign from Gowdy. He rocks and deals to Goose Goslin. And that's going to be a 56. That's going to end the inning. 56 will be a ground ball to first. And the side is retired, as covering the bag is Nehf. We're through 1, no score here in Washington. Again, if you're just joining us, we've modified the pitcher endurance. Normally, both Walter Johnson and Nehf off the pine tar cards can go 7 innings and possibly a little more. In reality, in Game 1, both pitchers went 12 innings, so that will be, they can go 12 innings in this game, unless they really poop the bed, and we take them out on our own volition. Due up in the top of the second for the New York Giants, National League champions, Kelly, Terry, and Wilson. Here is High Pockets Kelly. Digs into that right-hander's batter's box. Here's the pitch from Walter Johnson, and here comes the express. That's going to be a 14. Righty-righty matchup. 14 is a single to right field. So High Pockets Kelly singles off Walter Johnson. And the Giants have their first base runner. And he's not a threat to steal. Now I'll bring up the first baseman, Bill Terry. He's a left-handed batter. Johnson peeks to first, now looks in, picks up the sign from Rural. The pitch to Bill Terry. Johnson hoping for a double play ball here. And that's not going to be good. That is a 10, but that goes to a pitcher modification. And a 10 normally would be a double on the Terry card. But pitcher modification. And Walter Johnson is at home, so he's an A-plus pitcher all the way through. So a double and an A-plus is a walk. So Terry still gets on, but it's not a double. It'll be first and second, no outs. Actually, that is incorrect, because it still goes it's 2 balls we re-roll, because he's an A-plus pitcher. And on any walks, A plus, A or B, it's 2 balls and we re-roll. All right, 2 balls, no strikes. The pitch once again to Bill Terry. And that's going to be a 34. And a 34 will be a defense check. So let's see who it's going to be, as that was not a walk. 34. It's going to be a 50. And that ball is hit to the third baseman. The third baseman for the Senators is Bluge. And his error check is a 6. And we should have re-rolled the blue die now. And it's an 8, so he'll make the play. And that's a hard hit ball. So the ball is hit to third. And the white die is a 0. That's going to be a double play. We're just going off what the white die is. We're assuming it's a normal ground ball to third. He does not make the error. He makes the play. So Terry bangs into the DP. 5-4-3. Kelly is erased. He's out. So 2 outs, base is empty. Nice play by the third baseman, Bluge. Had it been a 6 and under, he would have booted the ball. That'll bring up Hack Wilson with 2 outs and the base is empty. Here's the pitch from Walter Johnson to Hack Wilson. That's a leaner re-roll. A 1, so that's going to be a 94. That will end the inning. 94 is a fly ball to left. Making the catch for the Senators is Goslin, and the side is retired. Bottom of the second, still no score here in Washington. Sportsman Z says, who are you kidding? You do games like at 4 a.m. That's when I can't sleep. Alrighty. Due up for the Senators, Judge, Bluge, and Peckinpah. Here's Joe Judge, the first baseman, to face the lefty Art Nehf. The pitch from Nehf to Joe Judge. What will be the verdict? 10. It's a 10, which normally would be a single, but a 10 goes to the pitcher modification, and a single and a B pitcher is a base on balls, which will not be a base on balls. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch to Judge once again. Joe Judge, that is. And that's a 1, so that's going to be a 72. Judge will hit this ball to right, and that's going to be out number 1. Making the catch is Young for the Giants. So Judge is retired. 2-0 count. Swung at the next pitch. That brings up Ozzie Bluge, who turned that marvelous double play. Here's the pitch to Ozzie, and Art Nehf fires in an 86. And that's going to be hit to center field. Going back a bit and making the catch is Kelly, 2 away. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. We're still scoreless. Game 1 of our replay of the 1924 World Series using Pine Tar Baseball. Here comes Roger Peckinpah. Not Sam Peckinpah. The shortstop. The pitch to Peckinpah. And that's a 93. What will it be? We shall see. Peckinpah swings the stick. Lifts the ball out to left. Coming in to make the catch is Hack Wilson. And the side is retired. 3 fly balls, 3 outs. We go to the top of the third. Still scoreless here in Washington. Due up for the New York Giants, Jackson, Gowdy, and the pitcher Nehf. Here comes Travis Jackson. He likes to sing country music in the offseason. The pitch from the freight train, the A train, Walter Johnson to Travis Jackson. 46. Swing and a miss. The first K for Walter Johnson, and Jackson is his victim. 1 down. Catcher Hank Gowdy strides to the plate on deck. The pitcher Art Nehf. Gowdy's a right-hander. Righty-righty matchup. He awaits the Johnson offering. The pitch. 42. Swing and a miss! Johnson firing the heat. Looking to strike out the side, and he'll face his counterpart, Art Nehf. Nehf, a lefty, choking up on that bat. He reaches safely 0-29. The pitch from Johnson to Nehf. 32. You know what that is? Swing and a miss! Johnson strikes out the side in the top of the third. The fans rise as one and give him a standing ovation here in Washington. What a job by Walter Johnson, striking out Jackson, Gowdy, and Nehf. We go to the bottom of the third. Due up for the Senators, Rule, Walter Johnson, in the top of the order, McNeely. Fans, that's what they come to see. Walter Johnson. Here's Muddy Rule. Gotta love these names. Right-handed batting catcher. He reaches safely 0-31 against lefties. Art Nehf picks up the sign from Gowdy. The pitch to Muddy Rule. 70. And Rule will hit this ball out to right for out number 1. Making the catch is Young. 4th fly ball out in a row. So Nehf keeping him off balance with some soft stuff. They're reaching for it a bit. And that will bring up Walter Johnson, who just struck out the side. Nehf wants to return the favor. He deals to Walter Johnson. A 6, so that's going to be a 33. 33, what will it be? An error check. So now we'll roll all 3 dice to see the fielder, and it's going to be an error most likely. That's a 70. That a 70 is hit to the shortstop, and it's a 3. The shortstop for the Giants is Jackson. He's an E6. He boots the ball. So reaching at first is Howard Johnson. That should have been out number 2. But Travis Jackson might have been thinking about a country song stuck in his head. So Walter Johnson is at first, and he's up here, so we'll just leave him up there. 1 out, 1 on. He's no threat to steal. And I'll bring up the center fielder, Earl McNeely. McNeely singled and then was erased on a fielder's choice. Nehf deals to McNeely. That's an 80. And that's going to be a fly out to center. Retreating back to first is Walter Johnson. Making the catch for the Giants was Kelly. 2 outs. And the Senators' second baseman, Bucky Harris, steps to the plate. He banged into a fielder's choice. Johnson will be off on contact. The pitch to Bucky Harris. 3. That's an 80. That's going to end the inning as this ball is also lifted out to center. Making the catch once again is Kelly. And the side is retired. The error doesn't hurt. We go to the top of the 4th, still scoreless. Game 1 of our retro replay, 1924 World Series, as played lineups, as played pitchers. Due up for the Giants, Lindstrom, Frisch, and Young. Johnson struck out the side in the top of the 3rd. The Dog Show! How you doing, my friend? And Viper Dave. Check out the Dog Show, wonderful channel. All right, Lindstrom grounded out to short his first time up. Hold on a second. We've got Frankie Frisch in front of Lindstrom. And that's because I moved it, because it was the pitcher who was up who made the last out. Okay, there's Lindstrom. The pitch from Johnson to Lindstrom. 47. Righty-righty matchup, 47. Ground ball to second. That's going to be an out. So Lindstrom goes down with the ground out. Second time he's grounded out, this time to second. And Harris. So that's 1 out. And here comes the second baseman for the Giants, Frankie Frisch. He grounded to short when they played a little pepper with Peckinpah. Johnson picks up the sign from Rule. He deals to Frankie Frisch. 14. 14 is a single, and that is a single to right field. So Frankie Frisch goes the other way off Walter Johnson. He's now 1 for 2. Frisch, base stealing, stolen base opportunity. He's a C. Once, anytime per series. I like to make it once per game, but he's not going to go C. Oh, 6th inning or later, once per series. So he can't go anyway. And Rule has a -6 arm, so it'd be 0 through 64, excuse me. Now I'll bring up Ross Young with 1 out. Frisch at first. Young flew out to left. Walter Johnson looking for the strikeout or the double play ball. The pitch to Ross Youngs. And that's going to be a 10, so it's going to be pitcher modification. A 10 normally would be a single. And a single off an A-plus pitcher. You know what that is? That's a strikeout. Walter Johnson blows the heat right by him. There's 2 down, so the pitcher modification comes into play there. And there are 2 outs. Frankie Frisch will be off on contact. He is a moderate runner. And here comes High Pockets Kelly. High Pockets Kelly singled in his first at-bat. Johnson with 4 strikeouts looking for 5. The pitch to High Pockets Kelly. That's going to be a 29. A 29 is a walk, so an A-plus pitcher. It's not a walk. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Johnson looks in. Rule sets a target. He deals again to High Pockets Kelly. That's going to be a 36. 36 will be an error check. Let's see who it's on for the Senators. 51. The ball is hit to the third baseman, who's already made a decent play. Bluge, he's an E6, and he's going to boot the ball this time. That's a 3. With 2 outs, runners advance 2 bases as it goes off his glove down the line. And Frankie Frisch will go first to third, so that's a costly error. So Kelly reaches on the error by Bluge, the E5. So second and third. Johnson has to bear down here through no fault of his own. The inning should be over. And here comes Bill Terry. Terry, the 5th place hitter, banged into a double play in the second inning. Chance to give the Giants a lead here. Frisch at third, Kelly at second. Walter Johnson takes a deep breath. The windmill windup and the pitch to Bill Terry. A 1. And that's going to be a 60. And that should end the inning. Ground ball to short. Peckenpower has it. Throws to first. And the side is retired. The error does not hurt. Senator fans breathe a sigh of relief as well as the bench. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Still no score here in Game 1 of the 1924 World Series. Retro replay using Pine Tar Baseball. Due up for the Senators. Rice, Goslin, and Judge. I do love... Fumble. Fumbled a card. I do love... Fumbled it again. I need Stickum. Where's Lester Hayes and Biliknikov when you need him? All right, let's make sure we got these in the right order. Lindstrom, Frisch, Youngs. It is Youngs, not Young. Youngs. I wrote that down wrong. Youngs. And Kelly. Then Terry grounded out to short. Okay, so Hack Wilson will lead things off in the top of the 5th. All right, we got that accounting done as I drop the cards for the 8th time. All right, hopefully they're all in order. If not, we'll fix it. So here's Art Nehf back up on the mound trying to match the goose egg that Walter Johnson produced. And here is Rice. Rice flew out to center. He's 0 for 1. The pitch from Nehf to Rice. Will it be nice? 3. So that's a 40. Left-handed pitcher. Strike 3 looking. Breaking ball got him. That's Neff's first K. 1 down. And here comes Goose Goslin, the left fielder. He grounded to first. Lefty-lefty matchup. Gowdy wiggles the fingers, sets the target. The pitch from Nehf to Goslin, 2. So that's a 54. And a 54 is a ground ball to first once again. And Nehf covers the bag, so Goslin goes down 3-1. For the second time, nice play by the first baseman Terry. Shuffled it to Nehf, who stepped on the bag. 2 up, 2 down. And here's Joe Judge looking for a better verdict than a fly out to right. Another lefty-lefty matchup. Nehf takes a deep breath. He rocks and deals to Joe Judge. That's a 19. Lefty-lefty, 19. That's a single. And it's an infield hit. So a little nubber into no man's land just past the pitcher's mound. And an infield hit for Joe Judge. He'll take it. He's on base. Judge, stolen base opportunity, he's a C. 6th inning or later. We're not there yet, as we are in the bottom of the 4th, scoreless. And here comes Ozzie Bluge. I think that's how you say his name. He's been an adventure at third base, made a great play, and then made a bad play. Flew out to center. The pitch to Bluge. 6, so that's going to be a 40. And that's strike 3. Big swinging. Wait a second. Lefty, my faux pas. Lefty pitcher. That is not a strikeout. It goes to an error check. I looked at the righty by accident. So 38 through 40 goes to an error check, and these teams are not really bueno at fielding. This could keep the inning alive with Judge at first. That's a 17 and a 3. Odds are that's an error. 17, that ball's hit to the first baseman, Terry. Terry's an E5. He boots the ball as that's going to go off his glove into right field with 2 outs. Judge will go first to third. They advance 2 bases. And Bluge winds up at second. So another costly error possibly by both teams. So at second and third, the ball goes off the glove of Terry. And here comes a shortstop, Roger Peckinpah, trying to give the Senators the lead. Second and third, 2 outs. Art Nehf has to bear down here. Can he pick up his second K? Lefty-righty matchup. Peckinpah chokes up a bit on that bat as he digs in the right-hander's batter's box. The pitch from Art Nehf. He fires in a 68. A 68, a hard hit ball to third, backhanded by the third baseman. Lindstrom, he fires across the diamond to Terry, and the side is retired. The 2-base error does not hurt by Terry, as he winks at his third baseman. Got him out of that jam. We're through 4, still scoreless here in Game 1 of the 1924 Retro Replay World Series using pine tar baseball. So the pitcher duel has ensued between Nehf and Walter Johnson. In reality, this game went 12 innings, and the Giants would win 4-3. Both pitchers went the full 12 innings. Top of the 5th, Walter Johnson back up on the mound. He'll face Wilson, Jackson, and Gowdy. If anyone gets on, the pitcher Nehf. And again, if you're just joining us, the maximum innings pitch has been modified. We're going to go off what they actually did. They can pitch 12 innings, these pitchers. Here's the pitch to Hack Wilson. He flew out to left. He's 0 for 1. That's a 3, so it's going to be a 23. And a 23 righty-righty matchup. 23 is a single to center field. So Hack Wilson picks up a hit. Hack Wilson at first. D, stolen base opportunity, 7th inning or later, once per series. We might just do that once per game. I like a little more stealing. You're not going to steal with these guys anyway, so. That'll bring up Travis Jackson. He's made an error at short. He struck out. Johnson looking for K number 5. Hack Wilson takes a slight lead at first. The pitch to Travis Jackson. 2. That's going to be a 97. 97 right-hand pitcher is a line out to short. Quick throw to first. Wilson dives back safely. A nice play by Peckinpah. He has been a busy beaver. So 1 out. Wilson still at first. And here comes the catcher, Hank Gowdy. Gowdy was also a strikeout victim. Johnson nods his head. The high leg kick and pitch to Hank Gowdy. 3, so that's a 51. Right-handed pitcher. Ground ball to first. Ground ball to first. Hack Wilson. This could be a double play ball. 51. Ground ball to first. That's a double play. It's going to go 3-6-3. And the inning is over. So a 51 ground ball to first. We look at the white die. That's a 1. 0 through 2 is a double play. And that's a double play. So Walter Johnson induces the ground ball. Nice play by Judge as they go 3-6-3. And the inning is over. So 2 good back-to-back defensive plays by the Senators. We go to the bottom of the 5th, still scoreless here in Game 1 of the 1924 World Series. Brought to you by Pine Tar Baseball and the Al Red Sox Fan YouTube channel. I'd like to thank all my subscribers and the people who watch and thumbs up and all that great stuff. Check out all the other wonderful channels in the community. We have a couple of wonderful channels in the chat right now. The Dog Show and Sportsman Z, along with 2 big friends of the community, Viper Dave and U.S. Patriot 4163. Thank you for joining us. Due up for the Senators, trying to push a run across. Rule, Johnson, the top of the order, McNeely, to face Art Nehf. Muddy Rule, the catcher, flew out to right. He awaits the Nehf offering. Pitch homeward bound to Muddy Rule. A 2, so it's going to be a 65. Left-handed pitcher, 65. Ground ball to third. That's going to be out number 1. Picking it and making a nice throw across the diamond for the Giants is Lindstrom. And Rule is now a muddy 0 for 2. Here comes Walter Johnson. McNeely on the on-deck circle. Johnson reached on an error by the shortstop Travis Jackson. He's humming a country tune as we look over there. Nehf deals to his counterpart Walter Johnson. That's a 2, so that's going to be a 69. 69 off the Johnson card. Johnson makes contact, floats one out to right. Coming in to make the catch is Youngs, and there's 2 down. So he's made contact both times, Walter Johnson. So 2 outs, base is empty. Top of the order is Earl McNeely. Now, normally this would be the 3rd time through the order, and we would switch grades, but as with Walter Johnson, at home, he's an A+ all the way through the game. Art Nehf on the road is a B all the way through the game. McNeely 1 for 2. The pitch to McNeely. Nehf fires in an 83. It's a swing. And that ball is hit to center field on the run. Making the catch in the gap is Kelly, and the side is retired. 2nd time McNeely's flown to Kelly. He's now 1 for 3. We go to the top of the 6th, scoreless, here in Game 1 of the 1924 World Series. Art Nehf will lead things off, followed by Lindstrom and Frankie Frisch for the New York Giants, National League champions. Oop, card sliding. There we go. All right, here's Freddie Lindstrom. Actually, I'm wrong. Art Nehf, the pitcher. Then Freddie Lindstrom. Nehf struck out. Here's a pitch from Johnson to Nehf. 1. So that is a 76. 76. And Nehf sends 1-1, a fly ball out to right. Camping and making the catch is Rice. 1 down. Nehf at least made contact that time. Now I'll bring up Lindstrom. Freddie Lindstrom, leadoff batter. He's 0 for 2. He's ground to short, ground to second. The pitch from Johnson to Lindstrom. 2, so that's going to be a 10. Pitcher modification. A 10 normally would be a single, but he's an A+ pitcher. That is a strikeout. Walter Johnson gets him with a breaking pitch. And Lindstrom is 0 for 3. That is the 5th K for Walter Johnson. I do like that modification stuff. It's kind of fun. So 2 outs, base is empty for Frankie Frisch. Giants second baseman is grounded to short and singled. Actually reached all the way to 3rd, but did not score. That went back in the 3rd inning. The pitch to Frankie Frisch from Walter Johnson. That's a 4, so that's going to be an 11. And an 11 is a defense modification. So an 11 on the Frankie Frisch card is a single. But now if we have a positive fielder, he will rob the hit. So now we're just going to roll the red and white die and see where the ball is hit. That is a 7. First base. The first baseman is Judge, and he is not a positive fielder. That ball gets by him into right field. So the inning stays alive. Judge made a dive at it, but couldn't get it. Now Frisch is 2 for 3. Second single of the game for Frankie Frisch. And we are in the 6th inning. He is a C stealer. Bleacher Bums Gaming, our good friend Anthony. How you doing, my friend? Hope all is well. He had a fun baseball game on his channel. Check out that wonderful channel, Bleacher Bums Gaming. As well, Anthony is the creator of Glory Days Boxing, the welterweight set soon to be coming out. We'll be putting up some more Glory Days Boxing on the channel. We have Randy Turpin, Alan Minter up. That was a wild one. And also, we did our little pre-play of Tyson Fury. And I just went brain dead. Wilder 2 this Saturday, and that's up on the channel. That was another wild one. All right, Frankie Frisch at first, 2 outs, and here comes the right fielder, Ross Youngs. He's 0 for 2. He's flown to left and struck out. Johnson hoping for his 6K. He deals to Youngs, hoping it'll be the Youngs and the Restless. And that is going to be a 61. A 61 ground ball to first. Judge fields it, waves off. Johnson steps on the bag, and the side is retired. We go to the bottom of the 6th, still scoreless here in Washington. Due up for the Senators, Harris, Rice, and Goslin. So here comes Bucky Harris, right-hand batting second baseman. Reached on a fielder's choice and flew out to center. He's 0 for 2. Art Nehf has matched goose egg for goose egg with Walter Johnson. The pitch to Bucky Harris. 1, so that's going to be a 19. Left-handed pitcher. 19 is a single. And it's an infield single. Another infield single that finds no man's land in between the pitcher, the first baseman, and the second baseman. And Bucky Harris reaches on an infield single. So a leadoff batter on, and Bucky Harris is a C stealer, 66. C stealer, 6th inning or later, once per series. Do we send him? I guess. Gowdy's a -2, so that would make it a 64. 64% chance. Rice is 0 for 2. 64% chance. I think we're going to take it. Bucky Harris goes. The throw down by Gowdy. And it's a 69. He is gunned out. I just should never roll for these things. So a good throw by Gowdy. Applying the tag was the second baseman, Frisch. And Mr. Harris will go grab some pine. Out stealing. No thievery here in the nation's capital. 2 to 4. And Bucky Harris is gone. 64 and I roll a 69. Unbelievable. So 1 out, no one on. Here's the pitch to Sam Rice. He's looking for his first hit. And that's a 50. That's a strikeout. So Sam Rice Ks for a second time. Nehf needs 1 more out. And the side will be retired. So Nehf now has 2 strikeouts. And he looks like he's going to match the goose egg put up by Walter Johnson and the Senators. But he'll have to get through Goose Goslin. Goslin's grounded out twice to first. 3 to 1, 3 to 1. Goslin, lefty-lefty matchup. Gowdy wiggles the fingers, sets a target. The pitch to Goose Goslin. 6. So that's going to be a 28. A 28 is a single. So Goose Goslin's now 1 for 3 as he singles to right field. He turned on that pitch. So Goslin's at first, and that will bring up the judge. That's Joe Judge. Goslin's a C-stealer, except his stolen base chance is 51 minus 2, which would be 49. We're not doing it. We couldn't do it on a 64. We're sure as hell not going to do it on a 49. The pitch to Joe Judge. Judge has flown to right and singled. Nehf rocks and deals. 1, so that's going to be an 89. An 89. That ball is struck well to center, but not well enough. Racing back at the track, making the catch is Kelly, and the side is retired. We're through 6, and it is scoreless here in Game 1 of the 1924 World Series Retro Replay using Pine Tar Baseball. Brought to you by the Al Red Sox Fan Channel. We have wonderful luminaries in the chat. Bleacher Bums Gaming. Check out that wonderful channel. The Dog Show, another wonderful channel. Great friend of the community, Viper Dave. An awesome channel in Sportsman Z. And another wonderful fan of the community, U.S. Patriot 4163. Thank you all for joining us tonight. So we go to the top of the 7th. No score here. It's going to be Kelly, Terry, and Wilson to face Walter Johnson. Johnson has struck out 5. The pitch to high pockets Kelly. That's a 2. So that's going to be a 94. A 94. That ball's hit to left. Ranging towards the line is Goslin. He makes the catch. And pockets Kelly is now 1 for 3. As he has empty pockets on that one. Here's Bill Terry, first baseman. Johnson in a groove. He's a rocking and a rolling. The pitch to Bill Terry. It's a 1, so that's going to be a 29. A 29 to Terry, base on balls, but with the modification, he's an A-plus pitcher. 2 balls, 1 strike. We do it again. The pitch. Johnson fires in a 0-3, and that is a triple. So Bill Terry laces a triple into the left center field gap. Wow. So a 1-out triple for Bill Terry. And the New York Giants looking to push 1 run across first. And here comes Hack Wilson. Wilson batted .295 in 1924. Number 6 batter. He is 1 for 2. He's flown to left and singled. Let's see if he can knock in the run. Infield in. And I forgot how to play the infield in. Well, if it comes to that, we will check it out. Infield in. Infield in. Let's just look. Defense has a choice to get a single out at the plate on a double play by. Otherwise, the runner on first is out at second, and then the batter is doubled off at first base. Well, that doesn't come into play there. Infield in. Runner on third, forced out at home, batter doubled up. Well, we're going to play the infield in, and if it comes to something that we have to look at, we'll look it up. All right, runner at third, infield in. Here's the pitch to Hack Wilson. Giants trying to take a 1-0 lead with 1 out in the top of the 7th. Pitch homeward bound by Walter Johnson. That's a 6, and that's going to be a 77. Is there any type of double with that? No. And a 77, swing and a miss. It's an automatic strikeout on the Walter Johnson card. Boy, did he need that. He challenged Hack Wilson with a fastball and won. And that is strikeout number 6 for Walter Johnson. He surely needed that. And stop calling me Shirley. DJ John 44 is at the ballpark. Another wonderful luminary and friend of the community. So here comes Travis Jackson with 2 outs. Everyone's playing normal now. Shortstop is 0 for 2. He struck out in line to his counterpart at short. Peckinpah. Peckinpah's had a good day with the glove. Jackson's made an error. He can make amends for that. No score. Terry's at third. 2 outs. Johnson looking for K number 7. The high leg kick and the pitch to Travis Jackson. 4. That's going to be a 95. A 95. That ball's hit out to left. Going back at the track. Reaching up with 2 hands and making the catch is Gosselin. The 1-out triple does not hurt. What a job by Walter Johnson to pitch out of that. So how big was the pitcher modification? I do believe that came into play just before the triple. Would have been a walk, but no walk with an A-plus pitcher. Bottom of the 7th, due up for the Senders in this scoreless game number 1 of the 1924 World Series Retro Replay. Using Pine Tar Baseball, brought to you by the Al Red Sox Fan YouTube channel. Be Bluge, Peckinpah, and Rule to face Art Nehf. Again, the maximum innings pitch has been modified to what they actually did. They both pitched 12 innings. So that is the maximum innings pitched. That will be allowed. Possibly one more. What a pitcher's duel here. Bleacher Bums Gaming, our good friend Anthony asks, do you have the whole 1924 series or just the series teams? I bought the sets with series teams. I have the 1924 World Series team, the 1946 World Series teams, the 1960 World Series teams, the 1979 World Series teams, and the 2016 World Series teams, along with the legend sets of great players from the Major League Baseball and the Negro Leagues. I'm really enjoying this. I'm looking forward to Kurt's been working on, along with the owner, the creator of Pine Tar, 60s, or great team set, with a lot of different teams. And I'm looking forward to purchasing that. And Anthony, when your baseball game comes out, I'm going to really look forward to purchasing that because that was fun. I love that you get everything like the boxing game off the card. And to be honest with you, Pine Tar is pretty much the same. It's a couple of charts. I'm not the best at the rules. I'm trying my best. I get them fairly right. It's funny, before you came, Anthony, I rolled a 99. I go, oh, that's a rare play. That's the boxing. Then I caught myself because I was playing a little boxing offline earlier. So, anyhow. All right, so it's Ozzie Bluge. Then it's Peckinpah and Rule to face Art Nehf. Bluge is 0 for 2. He's flown to center and reached on an error by the first baseman, Terry. The pitch from Nehf to Ozzie Bluge. And that's going to be a 50 because the green die, if it's even, we go blue. If it's odd, we go red, and it's always the white die. So that's a 50. And he's a left-handed pitcher. And a 50 is a ground ball to first. Terry fields it, shuffles it to Nehf, and Bluge is 0 for 3. Yeah, I caught myself. I'm like, 99, rare play. Oh, it's an infield hit. And I'm like, wait a second. That's boxing. So many wonderful games. It is truly the golden age of sports sims, whether card and dice or PC. It's just so much fun. I tell you, I'm loving that pro football strategy. The mods that community does is incredible. We're playing out the 72 season. We have the first game against the 72 Dolphins against the Chiefs, which was a wild one, up on the channel. They're long streams. I don't expect people to watch a lot, but I enjoy it. I love talking to the chat, and it's fun. And our next Action PC football game will be a first-round matchup, number 1 seed in bracket 2. The Washington Redskins taking on the Redskins were 11-3 and would go to the Super Bowl and lose to the Dolphins. They're taking on the 7-7 Atlanta Falcons. It's going to be tough to score with that team. They can't throw the ball at all. All right, so here's 1 out. Sam Peckinpah comes to the plate. The pitch from Nehf to Peckinpah. 6. So that's a 39. A 39. Strike 3 looking. So Nehf picks up his third K. And he also has the automatic strikeouts 55 and 77. I got to remember that. So 2 up, 2 down for the catcher, Muddy Rule. And he's been muddy at the plate. He's 0 for 2. Though he did reach on an error by Jackson at short. And then he flew out to right. Walter Johnson on deck. The pitch to Muddy Rule. Will he muddy up the water? 38, and he is hit by a pitch. Ooh, came a little high and tight there. Rule gets caught on the shoulder blade. And again, 4, so that's a 38. Wait, left-handed pitcher. Left-handed pitcher, Al. Strike 3, you are out. I looked at the right-handed side. I apologize. So back-to-back Ks, as that is a 38. Nehf, a left-handed pitcher. 38 through... It's a ground out. I messed that up 3 times in a row. 38, that's a ground out to first. But the inning is over, so let's just fix that. Ground out 3. And after all that fiasco, we go to the top of the 8th, still scoreless. Yep, ground out to first. Strikeout was so much better sounding, but ground out to first, so Art Nehf puts up a goose egg. They're matching goose eggs for goose eggs. Who will flinch first? We're going to find out. Top of the 8th. Walter Johnson back up on the bump. He will face Gowdy, Nehf, and the top of the order, Lindstrom. Hank Gowdy, the catcher, has struck out and banged into a double play. Here's the pitch to Hank Gowdy from Walter Johnson. 4, so that's going to be a 10. Pitcher modification on the 10, though, would be a single. But you know what? A-plus pitcher, you have just struck out. Walter Johnson gets him on the curve. Another K for Walter Johnson. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strikeouts for the Train. Oh, his baseball game is marvelous. Check out his channel. Plays exactly like his boxing game. Freaking fabulous. Anthony's done something, and it's very Pine Tar is very similar, where you get a lot of the results off the card. Strat, you get a lot of the results out the card. Now, if you play APA, that's fine. I've never played APA. The closest thing I've played to APA is that free wrestling game, which I do enjoy. And you start to know the numbers so the charts don't bother you. But I'm not a big chart person. That's just me. And Anthony's been playing Inside Pitch, which is I guess has a few charts, but he's loving it, and he's doing a great job with that. So, yeah. DJ John 44 says, Anthony, if your baseball game is anything like your boxing game, then whoa, Nelly. Oh, it's going to be a big whoa, Nelly. It's going to be a big whoa, Nelly. All right, 1 out. Here comes the pitcher, Art Nehf. Johnson deals quickly to his counterpart. That's a 5, so that's a 54. 54. And a 54 is a ground ball to second base, and that's going to be out number 2, as cleanly fielding it is Harris, and he throws to Judge. And that's the verdict, 4-3. So 2 up, 2 down, top of the order. Top of the order. I always do that because the pitcher's here and I start to flip this card. Freddie Lindstrom. Lindstrom's 0 for 2. He's grounded to short. 0 for 3, Grounded to short, grounded to second, and struck out. Johnson would love K number 8. He rocks and deals to Freddie Lindstrom. 4, so that is a 75. 75 right-handed pitcher. That ball is hit to right. Camping, waiting to make the catch is Rice. He does, and the side is retired. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Still scoreless here in Game 1. Extra innings loom. Due up for the Senators. They want to push 1 run across. 1 run should be enough, the way Walter Johnson's firing that ball up there from 90 feet out. It's going to be Walter Johnson leading things off. Can he help his own cause and the cause of the Senators here in Game 1 of the 24 World Series Retro Replay using Pine Tar Baseball? Then McNeely and Harris. Here's the pitch to Walter Johnson. Nehf fires in a 46. 46 Johnson hits it to first. Fielding it and taking it to the bag himself is Terry. 1 down. And here comes Earl McNeely, the leadoff batter. The center fielder is 1 for 3. He has singled, forced out on a fielder's choice, and then flown out twice to center field. Nehf picks up the sign from Gowdy. The pitch to Early McNeil. Fans won't be going home early, it looks like. That is a 97 left-handed pitcher. 97. Line shot! What a step and a dive. Terry makes the catch. Robbing extra bases. Remember, he booted one that cost a 2-base error, but right there, that is a great play on the line out to Terry. So there are 2 outs, bases empty. Bottom of the 8th. Here comes Bucky Harris. Harris reached on a fielder's choice, flew out to center field, then singled infield variety and was thrown out stealing by Gowdy when Frisch applied the tag. 0 through 64, and we rolled a 69. Here's the pitch to Bucky Harris. Nehf fires in. An 11. Possible rob job. So an 11. We have to see. It goes to a pitcher defense modification. They could rob a hit here if it's a positive fielder. I like this. This is fun. We're just going to roll the red and white die. 53. So Bucky Harris strikes the ball. Sinking line drive to the center fielder. The center fielder is Kelly. And he dives. He will not make the catch. He's a neutral fielder. I made him a neutral fielder. Probably should have made him a negative fielder, but I made him a neutral fielder. He's actually an infielder he played center field in game 1. So I made him a neutral fielder. Normally I'd make a guy a negative, but they put him in center field, so he can't be that incompetent. So if it was a positive, he would have made the diving catch, but it's not. He smothers the sinking line drive. And Harris keeps the inning alive. And he picks up his second hit. Now, do we dare steal again? I guess, can we steal? He was out. I mean, by the rules, you can only steal once per series. I kind of like to do it once per game. That's just me. Where's the stealing? Where's the stealing? I just had it. Oh, here it is. Anytime. I guess if you're out, you made the attempt. So he cannot steal. We'll do that. He cannot steal. He made the attempt. And here comes Sam Rice. We catch the blue die as it tried to escape. Rice is 0 for 3. He's flown to center and struck out twice. Gowdy sets the target. The pitch to Sam Rice. Nehf tosses up. At 12. Left-handed pitcher at 12 is a single. And that's a single to right field. So he jumps all over that fastball. He turns on it, smacks it past the dive of Frankie Frisch. And a 12. First time we go to see if a runner advances. Bucky Harris is a moderate runner, and that's an even number. And Bucky Harris will go first to third. So Bucky Harris goes first to third, 2 outs, and the Senators have something going here. So back-to-back singles, runners on the corners. And here comes Goose Goslin, the left fielder. Can the Senators push a run across? Thank you, Bleacher Bums Gaming. Enjoy your time with your lovely wife. I greatly appreciate the time you spent with us. Remember to check out Anthony from Bleacher Bums Gaming, and also Glory Days Boxing, which can be purchased on SidelineStrategies.com if you so choose so. I do love the game, and I have videos up on the channel as well as Anthony from Bleacher Bums Gaming, and also Rob Explanation Point, and many others who have played the game online. It's a very fun card and dice boxing game. All right, first and third, 2 outs. Gowdy goes out to have a quick word with Art Nehf. trying to keep the goose eggs alive. Here's the pitch to Goose Goslin, trying to reverse that trend. That's a 4, and he's not going to reverse the trend. That's a 90. Left-handed pitcher. He strikes the ball to center field, but he got under it. Going back just a little bit, making the catch is Kelly, and the side is retired. Again, that's a 90. Left-handed pitcher is a fly out to center. So, the go-ahead run stranded at third base by the Senators. We go to the top of the ninth, scoreless. What a pitcher's duel. Another fun game brought to you by Pine Tar Baseball and the Al Red Sox fan channel. Wow. So, goose eggs galore. And here comes Frankie Frisch. He'll be followed by Youngs and Kelly. Walter Johnson back up on the bump. Arms down to his chest. He rocks and deals to Frankie Frisch. 4. So that's going to be a 73. 73. Frisch hits the ball to right. And that's going to be out number 1. Making the catch is Rice. So 1 out, top of the ninth. And here comes Ross Youngs, the right fielder. He's 0 for 3. Fly out to left, strikeout, and ground out to first. Gruel goes through the signs. Johnson quickly nods his head. The pitch to Ross Youngs. 6, so that's going to be a 24. That should be a good result. 24 is a single, and that's going to be a single to center field. So he takes that fastball, return to center, and that's the first hit for Youngs. He's now 1 for 4. Youngs is a D-stealer opportunity. 7th inning or later. Stolen base chance 0 through 54. -6. So that's 48. 0 through 48. He's not going anywhere. 1 out. Youngs is at first. And here comes high pockets Kelly. His pockets have been empty his last 2 at-bats. Though he's been on base twice. A single. And he reached on the error by the third baseman, Bluge. And he flew out to left. So 1 out, 1 on. Johnson hoping for a double play ball. The pitch to high pockets Kelly. 5, so that's going to be a 33. What will it be? We shall see. 33 is a walk, but it's not a walk because he's an A-plus pitcher. So the count is 2 balls, 1 strike. We do it again. Pitch homeward bound to Kelly. A 3, and that's going to be a 48. Right-handed pitcher, 48, swing and a miss! And Kelly goes down via the whiff, 2 down. And that's strikeout number 8, I do believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 strikeouts for the train, Walter Johnson. Now bring up the first baseman, Bill Terry. Terry's made an error. He's banged into a double play, grounded out, and then tripled with 1 out, but was stranded at third in the 7th inning as Johnson struck out Wilson and induced a fly out to left by Jackson. So Ross Youngs is at first. Bill Terry at the plate. He'd like to get an extra base hit here. Johnson nods his head. He rocks and deals to Bill Terry. That's a 6. That's a 40. Right-handed pitcher. Strike 3 outside corner. Catches him looking. Strikeout number 9. As Walter Johnson, after the single, strikes out Kelly and Terry. Not a good inning for men with names that sound like girls. We go to the bottom of the 9th. No score. The Senators just need to push 1 run across to win this game number 1. In reality, the New York Giants in 1924 in Game 1 of the World Series defeated the Senators 4-3 in 12 innings with both Art Nehf and Walter Johnson going the distance. This is why I chose this game to play. Now, whether we play out the whole World Series, we shall see. I might just play it offline. We'll see how the views go and the likes. If you like this stuff, hit the like button. That's how I know to keep doing it. Alrighty. So, due up for the Senators, trying to push 1 run across that plate to win this game, 1-0. Judge, Bluge, and Peckinpah. Judge is 1 for 3. He has flown to right, singled, and flown to center. Art Nehf back up on the mound. He needs to match the goose egg once again. The pitch to Joe Judge. What will the verdict be? The verdict will be good for Art Nehf. That's an 84. Left-handed pitcher, 84. It will be a fly ball to center. Making the catch is Kelly. Second time, Judge has flown out to center. One down. 2 outs away from what we call free baseball, my friends. Is Chris from Delaware watching? Here comes Ozzie Bluge, the third baseman. He's 0 for 3, though he did reach on an error by the first baseman, Terry. Nehf steadies himself, takes a deep breath. He rocks and deals to Ozzie Bluge. That's a 5, so that's going to be a 68. Left-handed pitcher, 68. Ground ball to third. Up with it is Lindstrom. He throws across the diamond to Terry. 2 away. 1 out away from free baseball. And it's Roger Peckinpah. 0 for 3. He's flown to left, grounded to third, and struck out. Nehf needs to match the goose egg. The pitch to Peckinpah. Nehf fires in. A 12. Oh, boy. Left-handed pitcher, 12 is a single. So with 2 outs, Roger Peckinpah singles to right as he goes the other way on the breaking pitch off the left-handed throwing Art Nehf. So Peckinpah, let's make sure that's a 12. Lefty single, 7 through 27. Winning run at first. Peckinpah is a D and a 59. Gowdy has a -2 arm, would be a 57. 57. No, we're not going to do it. Here comes Muddy Rule and then Walter Johnson. Now, Mules Shirley did pinch hit for Walter Johnson in the 12th inning of the real game, but we're not pinch hitting for Walter Johnson in this game. So Muddy Rule. So Roger Peckinpah is a D stolen base opportunity. 7th inning or later once per series. 0 through 59. Gowdy's a -2. It's a 57. He's going. And he got it! 32! So Peckinpah steals second base. The winning run is in scoring position. And now first base is open. Will they walk Muddy Rule? He reaches 0 through 32. Walter Johnson, 0 through 30. And they will intentionally walk Muddy Rule with 2 outs to face the pitcher Walter Johnson. Decision time now. Decision time. So it's an intentional walk. Do we take Johnson out of the game? A chance to win it here. Peckinpah is at second. That's the only run that matters. Rule means nothing at first. They face Walter Johnson. Johnson is reached on an error by the shortstop, flown to right, and grounded to first unassisted. Mule Shirley batted .234, and he reaches safely against left-handed pitchers. I actually hit better against lefties than righties, and he's a left-handed batter. 0 through 32. Possible error check. 33 through 36. Walter Johnson, 0 through 30. Johnson with a chance to win the game. They're going to let him swing away. Yeah, we're going to let him swing away. Peckinpah at second. The pitch to Walter Johnson. A 1. That's a 30. He's hit by the pitch. Holy cow. Nehf hits Johnson. 1. We go to the red die. That's a 30. Johnson, there's only 1 column on the pitcher's card for hitting. That's a hit by pitch. Walter Johnson is hit by the pitch, and they're balking. They're saying he leaned into it. Hit by pitch. The bases are juiced. Bottom of the 9th, top of the order, and they're still yelling at Walter Johnson, screaming that he leaned into the pitch on that curveball. Moment of truth here. And it's Earl McNeely, the center fielder. Could win game 1, 1-0 for the Senators. No place to put McNeely. Now, Art Nehf is a B. So an A plus A and a B pitcher, if you roll a walk the first time, is 2 balls. We like to call it 2 balls, 1 strike. And then you roll again. So there won't be he'd have to do it twice to walk in the run. McNeely has singled, was forced out at second on a fielder's choice by Harris. Then he's flown out twice to center and then was robbed of extra bases on a great step and a dive, a line shot towards first, and Terry made the play. This is it. Can McNeely win the game for the Senators 1-0 here? Bases loaded, 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Art Nehf is ready. He's had his word with the catcher. Gowdy back behind the plate, squats down, sets a target. The pitch to early McNeely, trying to send the fans home early. 1. That's a 12. Single. Ball game over. Early McNeil singles in. The game-winning run. Peckinpah trots in from third. What a ball game. What a ball game. That's a 1. We go to the red die. That's a 12 against a left-handed pitcher. Single. And it is a single to right. And the ball game is over. Peckinpah with 2 outs. Singles. Steals second. They walk Rule intentionally to face Walter Johnson. Nehf throws up a curveball. Johnson's hit by the pitch. They say he leaned into it. They're arguing, they're screaming, but the bases are juiced, and here came early McNeely. He picks up his second hit, and it wins the game. Trotting home from third is Peckinpah, and there's a lot of joy here in the nation's capital as the Senators take game 1, 1-0. Unbelievable. 1 run, and it's scored in the bottom of the 9th. 1 RBI by McNeely, and it's a game-winning hit. So your final here in game 1, Walter Johnson puts up 9 goose eggs. He gets the win. Gives up no runs. Strikes out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Shamil, Shamazel, Hassan Pfeffer Incorporated. Strikes out 9. Art Nehf is what is described as a tough luck loser. He goes 8 2/3. Gives up 1 run. The game-winning single to McNeely. So that's it. So history has been reversed using pine tar baseball. In reality, again, the Giants won game 1 in Washington 4-3 in 12 innings. In our game, 1-0 Senators as Walter Johnson outduels Art Nehf. So Johnson gets the win. He likes that much better because in reality, Art Nehf beat him 4-3 in 12. In reality, both pitchers went 12 innings. So that's what we're going to do. So we'll see how everyone likes this. If you'd like to see game 2, please put it in the comments after the video loads. And we'll play game 2. But this was a lot of fun. I wanted to play a Walter Johnson game. This World Series, check it out on whether you want to do the Encyclopedia Baseball or Baseball Reference. This is a fun World Series. Wild, crazy games. So 1-0. History is reversed in game 1. The Senators win. Johnson goes the distance, strikes out 9, puts up a goose egg. Art Nehf takes the loss, gives up 1 run in 8 2/3. Game-winning hit by McNeely. After a 2-out single by Peckinpah, he steals second base. We intentionally walked Rule. First and second 2 outs. We let Johnson hit. They throw a curveball. Johnson leans into it. At least that's what the Giants think. So there's some arguing, but they don't change it. Bases juice, 2 outs. McNeely singles to right. Ball game over. I'd like to thank the Dog Show, Dave Little, Bleacher Bums Gaming. Check out Dave Little's channel. Absolutely wonderful. Check out the Dog Show. Check out Bleacher Bums Gaming. I'd like to thank DJ John 44. Viper Dave and Sportsman Z, another wonderful channel in our community. And of course, good friend of the channel and all, U.S. Patriot 4163. You know what's coming, folks. Health and happiness. The Senators defeat the Giants. Game 1, 1924 World Series, 1-0. Johnson, player of the game, gets the shutout, gets the win, gets hit by a pitch, and strikes out 9. Health and happiness. God bless. You know what's coming, folks. Peace! Love you all.